check out this board. It reminds me of Batman here. Jesus Christ.
Don't be alarmed.
What are you doing down there?
I am the Batman. I am the Batman, yeah? I see you have my beautiful skateboard here, you know? Yeah, this is what I use to fight crime and okay. So,
Yeah, okay.
Well,
no,
anyways,
just,
when you're done with it,
just
give it back.
You know,
I am the Batman.
go back to fighting. Oh, yeah, you're the
Bye-bye.
Batman. You're the Batman. Go fight crime. All right. Yeah, bye. Bye. Where did he go? Anyways, guys, welcome back to the channel here. Today, I have this incredibly awesome, I don't want to call it a mini board, like mini skateboard, but this thing is like a midi. Look at this thing. Beefy, powerful, incredible range, great ride feel, all of that and above. This is the Stella Mini from Acedeck. So here we are again with the Acedeck series, one of my favorite companies. They have just been repeatedly knocking this thing out of the park. I say that innovation, the ability to go ahead and set the trend, they have done a fantastic job this season. And obviously being only 1 year old now, they have just really stepped beyond the bounds of other people that have been in this industry for years now. So this guy right here. Now, this board is wide. It is a throwback almost to my remembrance of like when I was a kid and you were like those Tony Hawk original days, but this board is massively wide. Look how cool this bottom deck is, by the way. Multi-composite deck, digital looking display, almost like a binary or like a motherboard circuitry thing underneath there. Fantastic in that sense. And this deck itself, beautiful concave. It's got this nice shallow dish with even a little bit room up front, the lip up front, because this thing's got a serious amount of power. I actually found myself planting my feet a little bit further out in front of me, but this dish that's right here, this guy right here, see the little lip? It lets me sit my foot right in there and get a really nice grip on the front here, and then that tail, it's tails for days. Mind you, it also looks like Batman. I mean, Dr. Eastgate loves it, right? Or Dr. Bat Eastgate? I am the Batman. Anyways, beautiful deck. Coarse grip tape, feels fantastic underneath the feet. The kicktail alone, awesome piece in there as well. You're able to go ahead and kick back, do some manuals. It's a bit of a heavy board, bit of a big board underneath the feet. It feels very stable at high speeds, but it is a very large board. I would call it almost like a midi versus a mini. It's midi between a mini and like a full length deck. It gives like a very good stable platform feel at a smaller portable range. Let's go ahead and talk about that enclosure inside there. ESC, battery, all stuff's inside there. The battery, 13S 2P Samsung 40T cells. Plenty of watt hour, 374 watt hour with 8 amp hours of power inside there, paired with their 50 amp 3.0 ESC. This thing's got plenty of voltage, plenty of current to go ahead and power you and really power those motors to incredible speeds very quickly. As far as I'm concerned, any hill, any problem whatsoever, this thing's gonna be able to conquer it with no issue whatsoever. Not to mention, the power that this thing outputs at 13S is gonna give you more efficiency, better heat dissipation, just overall a really nice, powerful system. And to find something like a 13S inside of MIDI series, these things are like, you know, that's crazy. It's just mind-blowing to think about. Like back in the day, it was a 10S 1P or 10S 2P inside of your regular boards like 4 years ago. Now you're getting these things with 13Ss, 14Ss. It's just, it's nuts to me. Now this battery at the 374 watt hours, 8 amp hours, roughly gives you about 22-ish miles. I was finding closer to like the 20-ish, 19-ish miles on a full charge. I was also riding it a ton on errands for the past couple weeks, using it back and forth, just going full burst speeds. Like it was just so stable and so fun that like I was really enjoying myself running errands on it, going to the bank, picking up coffee, whatever it may have been, just using this thing as my daily driver. It was a ton of fun and doing a lot of whoop-ha's. Whoop-ha! Whoop-ha! A lot of wah-pahs on this board. It's definitely got the stability, it's got the carvability, it's got the power, the range there. So between that 13S2P 50 amp ESC powering these fantastic dual 6355 motors, power for days. It takes me, a 220 pound rider, and just launches me into the stratosphere. This thing is so insanely fast. It's got so much low end torque. It gets you up to 27, 28 miles an hour within an instant. It's very, very powerful. It's one of those things that even on, I feel, midway, I could be doing 15 miles an hour and I go ahead and push that throttle up. This thing rockets. It takes off still. There's not like a lag or a hesitation or like, no, I'm kind of at the top end of my speed here. I'm doing 15, 20 miles an hour. It still pulls all the way through. And it's very, very stable. Being able to go 28 miles an hour plus and being able to hit speeds and go up hills and stuff like that, having no fear whatsoever, this is kind of reserved for what even the all-terrain boards were, 3 or 4 years ago. You were seeing a 50 amp ESC, you were seeing 300 plus watt hours, you were seeing, those type of situations. Now to have them in these smaller packages at a great deal, no brainer. Now they claim IP65 waterproof. I mean, for me, anytime that a company says that, that's fine. I don't want to run my board in the rain per se. If I get caught out in a situation, obviously you want to have that waterproof, gasket inside there. You want to make sure that you have some type of sealant inside there. I'm not going to be riding in the rain or putting myself in a situation where I know it's going to be wet outside. It's great to know that if I went through a puddle and this thing has that IPX65 rating inside there, super awesome. Is it, necessity? Maybe not. But good to know that at least everything's weatherproofed inside there. You can be able to take some splashes and stuff like that, have no issue in that sense. So let's go ahead and talk about the trucks. So this is their forged 45-degree reverse Kingpin truck series. It's actually the opposite of what they normally are known for. Their traditional styles and their CNCs, like the Aries and the Nomads and the X1s and X3s that they have in their uppers. They went with a forged reverse Kingpin 45-degree, a 100 barrel and a 96 barrel with these CNC cups on there, really nice precision cups inside there that hold everything inside there. Now, why they put the 100 and the 96 on the one side versus like putting them both on the back side, I'm not sure. This is exactly how it came. Totally stable, but typically you want your board side to be doing most of the work versus the street side, and they have the opposite, so you want more stability. But I guess because it is so stable with reverse Kingpin, you have the carviness of it. They want to maybe just have a little bit of carve, a little bit of whatever. But honestly, like I said, out of the box, the 100, the 96, it worked. So go figure. I'm not gonna mess with a recipe that works, but I may mess around and put some riptides or something inside there. Now, connected with the trucks on here are these wheels. They're a 90 millimeter, no brand name, no nothing on there. Doesn't say Acedeck or like that, just 90 millimeter wheels. Great, they're not super squishy. You're not getting like 78A, but they are very grippy. Super grippy, forgiving if you're going over cracks, if you're going over bumps, if you're going, you're doing your manuals or whatever. This thing's got you covered. Those wheels have you covered on there. Buttery smooth, no complaints in that sense, and really kind of grip the road. I can do a lot of wah-pahs. Wah-pah, 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 wah-pah. A lot of that on this board. So, but I would say the reverse Kingpin lends itself to more of a commuting style. With this deck, it's wide and stable. So if you're someone that you don't want the size of a longboard, but you want the stability of a longboard, this deck, this board, I would say definitely does that for you. It's got plenty of power, plenty of stability. Honestly, knock out of the park. Acedeck, for their first time stepping into the mini series, I would say that they really did a good job. I love the deck, the aesthetics, the overall black and gray. It's a great job overall, Acedeck. Now it does take 3 hours to charge. 0 to full, 3 hours to charge. Now that's not horrible. Say you have a 2-mile commute in the city. It's your last, you get off the subway, maybe you get in the city 2 miles around. Plenty to get you up and down. Maybe, you're commuting to work 5 miles one way, 5 miles the other way. You can do that a few times. Bring the charger into work, plug it in. Plenty of time to charge this thing up. No issue whatsoever there. Now, this is remote that Acedeck is tried and true. Nice remote, great grip on here, fantastic. There's low, eco, sport, sport plus. Sport plus, always on any Acedeck, rockets you. I don't know what it is about this company. They love acceleration and power, and so do I, and they just provide it for you in an endless amount of situations. And you have your ability to change customization on here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of that button there. You can change your units from miles per hour, your braking level. So I kept it at 80, plenty of braking level in there because these are belt drives. I don't want to go up any further. I don't want to snap them. And then if you click the button 8 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you have a multitude of menu on here. Let's see if you can focus on that. Customize the acceleration, braking curve, power output, anything you want on every single level. Reset this bang back to normal, upgrades, your acceleration curves, everything you can think of, you can do it through here on this board. it's for as far as customization goes, like on the fly, I know when I was playing with my Nomad, I know I was playing with the X1, I wanted to tune this thing specifically to me, so I was able to go in there, make some adjustments, and I really truly love dialing it in there. They give you that ability to customize it on there. It's great, you know, if they had an app, sure, but not being able to have my phone on me, if I just want to do it on the fly, I don't have to pull my phone out and be able to double tap this, go ahead and log in, choose what I want, make sure the adjustment's there. I think this ESC is absolutely fantastic. They did a great job with it. Overall, just a buttery, smooth package. So who is this board for? And what are the pros and cons of it? Pros, 13S, 2P configuration, Samsung 42, tried and true, fantastic setup. Anything that's, you know, in that power range, giving that 13S on a mini board these days is just kind of nuts to me. I mean, great, that's so much power, it's so much range, 22 miles of range on those mini boards. That's just nuts. Like, it's great, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely great. But when does the weight factor come into the range factor, comes into the portability factor? So like, there's a lot of balancing on there. And you know, these prices of these boards, they're fantastic, don't get me wrong, $699 thing on sale. And with the use code ACEDREW, you go ahead and get yourself a few bucks off there as well too, help support the channel. But it's just like, there's a lot of balancing factors inside of here. So I love the ability to jump on these minis, ride for days, not have to worry about charging it, not have to worry about anything like that. It's fantastic. But at the same time, if you are someone that is trying to throw this in a backpack, if you're trying to carry this onto a subway, onto a bus, on a train, you know, picking this up a few flights of stairs, you might, you know, you're gonna get an arm workout over that time. You don't have to go to the gym as much, who knows? But overall, Acedeck, coming out of the gates, swinging, knock this thing out of the park. The gorgeous deck, I love this deck that's on here. The amazing 13S 2P configuration with that 50 amp ESC, those powerful 6355, 150 kV motors. It's just a beautiful package. If you're looking for something that's great range, great looks, super stable, very stable. That wide platform deck on there is very stable. Reverse Kingpin with these precision cups that are on there too. Just overall a good looking board. Aesthetically, the black, love it. The gray, the accents in the bottom there, it's subtle. It's enough to give you something, but not overkill it. It doesn't, you know, doesn't scream, look at me when you're riding this thing or if you have this thing next to you. So I definitely would say that Acedeck, as far as the sleekness goes, absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. If you guys haven't yet, go ahead, click that subscribe button down below. I also have my own merch line of WAPA gear. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check out the link below as well too. Support the channel, pick yourself up a t-shirt, some hats. There's a ton of stuff on there as well. And if you haven't yet, thumbs up the video. Make sure you always wear a helmet. Until next time, guys, peace. True, this is their series remote. Really nice grip. Whew.